Hey everybody, welcome back to the LARP Guy. So today I want to talk to you about a video I saw earlier today by Stephanie Twilley. She's talking about LARP projectiles, and she wanted people to comment on what were their favorites, which ones they didn't want to use, and I've done a lot of different stuff, so I just wanted to kind of make a video on which ones I like best. So to start out, my favorite LARP projectile has to be the spell packet. It's one of the easiest to acquire, the easiest to make, and one of the most versatile. Now these things can be anything from just birdseed or airsoft BBs, rice I've also seen. You know, they're easy to make, and if you lose them, you're not crying over it. If you use birdseed and rice, then it's biodegradable. You're not really leaving anything behind. Everyone always normally has extra spell packets, you know, your plot teams, your monster towns. You can always ask around and go ahead and get a handful if you're missing some. Or you can find them on the ground. They're always going to be readily available, except for maybe your poison ones, you know, like your green ones or your orange ones for your poisons or alchemy. And then those are going to have to be special marked. But other than that, you know, your general spell packets you're going to have ready for use at any point in time. So my second favorite is going to have to be bows and LARP arrows. You can make both of them yourselves, but I prefer to buy certain pieces. Like I prefer to buy the pre-made LARP arrows. These things are safe. The problem is they're going to be a little expensive. They range from $15 to $20 depending on where you get them from. Now, some of you may have already seen my Pvc Lark Bow that I made before. I kind of did a little build along with it. And these things are great. I love them. And it's worked out so well for me so far. So anyone can really build themselves one, and then of course find your game marshals and have them check them for you. Now in third place, it's a tie between crossbows and Nerf guns. I really like crossbows for the immersion aspect, but then you suffer the same consequences as you do with the bows. They can be expensive to buy, and then you have to keep track of all your arrows, and so those can be a pain to keep track of and get replacements for. And once again, I like to buy my arrows instead of constructing them myself or having other people construct them. It's just one of those safety issues. And now Nerf guns, I really like the new Nerf lines. The Zombie Strike lines and the Rebel lines are really great pieces. Some of you may have already seen the Zombie Strike hammer shot that I painted up. And they released one in the Rebel line, which is a nice hammer action revolver. These things are great. They're lots of fun. But then it kind of cuts down on the immersion. Now also in the Nerf Rebel line, they've got some little hand crossbows and then this really cool pump repeating crossbow. These are really awesome. Once again, it kind of cuts into the immersion of it, but at the same time, you do a good paint job and you're in the right fantasy atmosphere. It can be pulled off. And then also a great thing is you can easily replace the ammo. If you lose a dart, you're not really going to worry about it because you can go buy them by 30 packs. Now, still on crossbows and the Nerf gun thing, I kind of like a hybrid idea. I've been working on designing my own little crossbow that fires Nerf darts. This way it keeps with the immersion of actually having a crossbow, but now I've got simple to find ammo that's always going to be safe and easily to replace. And this is just a little prototype I've built up to practice with some of the mechanics, but it seems to be going pretty well so far. Alright, the last Nerf gun I have to show you guys is a little Pirate of the Caribbean flintlock dart shooter. It's not Nerf brand or anything. You can find these at Disney stores, and you can also get a different one at Cracker Barrel. Okay, and my number 4 spot comes in for actual thrown weapons. I don't like these so much because, same thing as the arrows and the bolts, you kind of have to go find them afterwards. And some of these can be expensive. You know, you can go anywhere from $5 to $25 depending on your thrown weapon. While they look really cool and they add to an effect of a character, and I certainly don't mind having an extra one on me every now and then, I really don't like them because they have a limited distance for engagement. And then you throw one in the heat of combat, and then you got to spend 15 minutes trying to find it. And if you put a lot of work into making it yourself, or you spend a lot of money on it, you're going to kind of be upset when it's gone. So, you know, the globes, ninja stars, knives, hammers, axes, I've seen rolling pins. They're all great, but not one of my favorites. Okay, and so my number 5 spot, I kind of did these in a order of how I use them. I do a lot more of role-play fantasy games. I used to do a lot of airsoft and paintball, but it got too expensive for the guns and they kept breaking. So, but for airsoft and paintball, they're great guns. I love them. I loved playing. It was so much fun, but they have their place in their own system due to all the extra safety equipment you need for them, goggles, face masks, and then if you're doing paintball, then the CO2 tanks, or just airsoft, the guns can run up to $500. So I like them when I played. I keep them a few around just for fun, but I don't play anymore. So, alright guys, the last one I want to talk about, number 6, isn't a LARP projectile. Now what I'm talking about is simulated ammunition. Now, in my eyes, I view it as a type of LARPing. A few of the guys that actually do it more than I do would probably disagree with me for calling it LARPing and be a little upset. But in my eyes, it's exactly what it was. I went and took a class, Tactical Response. It was the Fight, which is a force-on-force class where you're using a simulated Glock 17 and simulated ammunition, and you're going through scenarios or modules. And so you have your gun and you have an extra mag and you go in, and then they put you in what would be considered a real-life scenario of going to the bank or going to the ATM or just going grocery shopping, and then something happens. So I really saw it as a LARPing experience because it was live action role play. It was how you would react in certain scenarios, and you're reacting with other role players as well. So that doesn't really fall into the category I would put with, you know, my normal LARPing projectiles, but I wanted to go ahead and throw it in there just so it's out there. That's kind of how I see it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me some feedback in below. I'm going to try and link Stephanie's video, maybe in the description below or something, because I'm new to the whole YouTube boxes. Like if I put a box here, I don't know if I could do it. It's probably not going to happen, so don't look for it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.
Rory.
Yeah!